Right, so good morning, we're back. So while waiting for others, let us just give this link to everybody. Right. So we'll be having our seminar workshop on research or thesis writing with our students from Southern Mindanao Institute of Technology Incorporated. So I welcome everybody to this webinar. I hope we could help one another, and I hope the participants will learn something with this short presentation with regard to thesis writing. We're still waiting for our participants. So I guess we already have one participant out here. We're still waiting for our participants. So we already have two participants for this research webinar. Before we start, let us first complete our participants so everybody will not miss this presentation. So other participants for this webinar. We're still waiting for some more participants for this webinar. Right, so we already have our three viewers, four viewers. Right, thank you so much for coming in. Alright, so thank you so much for our five viewers for this morning. Kung tinihintay lang po, we're still waiting for others. We have to complete the participants for this webinar. Okay, overall, I'm expecting 16 participants from the College of Midwifery from Southern Mindanao Institute of Technology because they are the participants for this webinar. Alright, thank you so much for our six viewers this morning. Let us first enjoy the music before we start. So huwag tayong alis because a moment from now, we will start this webinar. So we have 5 participants out of 16. It means yung iba is going pala. By the way, guys, you can leave comment here, write your name for our attendance checking for recognition. Pwede kayong mag-sulat dyan sa right side ng ating screen for you to be recognized and your name and your school. Alright, so good morning to our 5 viewers today. I can see there are 5 viewers. So we're expecting 16 participants, but others can also join to this webinar. But we have official 16 participants from SME. Alright, so good morning. Lau Bunda. Okay, Lady Joy B. Dimakuta. Okay, thank you so much. Meron na tayong first comer dito si Ma'am Lau Bunda. Bigyan kita ng jacket para ma-visible ka. Are you from Smith, Ma'am Lady Joy Dimakuta? Alright, so good morning. We have another participant, Mary Ann Mupada or Mary Ann Paligutan. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. I will add you for you to be visible to others. And good morning, Ma'am Sherlyn Funa. Good morning. Alright, so from Smith, very good. Kasi ang live stream na ito, marami ito nakikita. Kaya I'm asking, in what school are you from? Baka may nag-join sa atin na iba. Okay, we have 9. We are about to start. Medyo complete na tayo. So later guys pala, you can ask or you can leave your comment or question mamaya dito sa ating comment box. Just in case you have question, so you are free to ask it. Okay? Ilagay nyo lang sa right side ng inyong screen. Okay, good morning, Ma'am Lau Bunda. Ma'am Charlene, panagyan sa So 10, okay, we have 10 now, 10 participants. Please write your name on the right side for you to be recognized, mga moms. Because a moment from now, we will webinar. And of course, follow up tayo by using the screen, yung na-screenshot sa inyo ni Ma'am Jonah na slide natin. Supposedly, we'll be using slide. But due to technical problem, so I was not able to attach my file here, kaya YouTube na yung ginamit. This is the problem when we are using this. Anyway, we can consider this naman because we are now still in this pandemic. So I hope everybody is getting well today. So everybody could learn from here and we will enjoy learning and we will love research, hopefully. So again, please encourage others to write their name on the right side. Yung iba natin ng mga participants, guys. So please encourage them to... Okay, good morning, Ma'am Catherine Kyle Lopez Canlas. Okay, from Smith. Thank you so much, Ma'am. So 10, we already have 10. We're still waiting for 6 participants. We will wait for others because I don't want that somebody would miss this slide. Diba? Dapat lahat tayo sabay-sabay. Okay, I will give you jacket. Okay. So we have 10 participants today. Please write your name on the right side. Okay, so good morning, Ma'am Gimari or Jimari Luyao. Thank you so much. Good morning. Okay. We are 12 and we're still 12. We are still waiting for some participants. When this live reaches at least 16 participants, that's the right time to begin. Okay? Para walang makamiss sa ating mga presentation. And again, I'm reminding everyone to please bear with me. Please, yung na-screenshot natin na slide. Okay, good morning, Ma'am Gloria Vicente. Good morning. Again, guys, please use the photo that Ma'am Jonah had sent to you. Kasi yun ang magiging guide natin because I was not able to attach my PowerPoint here due to technical problem. Ito yung problema when we are having our webinar kasi this is actually the problem. YouTube na lang ginamit ko kasi this is the fastest and this is the easiest way na maka-live tayo. So please, huwag kayong mag-leave ha, yung iba, huwag na mag-leave. Always, tayo, stay tuned tayo. So we can start today's webinar. Because everything here is important. It could really help you in your thesis writing. I know that everybody is, encountering problem when it comes to thesis writing. So the goal of this webinar is to help you to formulate a problem, um, to think for best research title, and I will guide you in doing that. Okay, good morning everyone. So we are now 11. So we're still waiting for 5 participants. Kindly inform them to please proceed to the link that I had sent to Ma'am Jonah. Okay. I will give the link again. I will write here the link so you can send it to others. That is our link. I sent it in our comment box. You can share it to your your classmates, so they can access this site immediately. Alright, thank you so much. We already have 10 and we're still waiting for 6 participants for this webinar. So I guess yung naglagay lang ng pangalan, yun lang yung present. Again, please write your name. Please write your name on the right side para ma-recognize kayo. Yan yung maging basis natin for us to start. We already have 14 but I'm not sure kung ang 14 na to is lahat from Smith. As what I have said, this live is in public. Naka-public po ang live na to. Ibig sabihin, everybody can see it. So I want you to comment your name on the comment area for you to be recognized and tell me if you are coming from Smith. Alright, thank you so much, Jubeno Araulo from Smith. So we're still waiting for others so we can start with this webinar. And okay, good morning Taher Mama or Morsid Maliga Baser from Smith. Alright, thank you for coming in. Again guys, please bear with me since we don't have any presentation here. Please use the slide. The slide that Ma'am Jonah had sent to you. Okay, good morning everybody. Okay, please share this link to everybody for them to access this live stream today. And don't ever forget to write your name as for you to be recognized since this slide or this live stream is visible to everybody. All right. Right, noted, Ma'am Gloria Vicente here from Smith. As your attendance, Ma'am Kyla, just write your name. Isulat yung pangalan natin sa right side. Pag cellphone yung gamit natin, guys, if we're using our phone, ayan, I will show you. So this is how it looks like. Yan. You can leave your comment here. Yan, dyan. There. Yan kasi yung magiging mukha niya if you're using your phone. Okay. But if you're using laptop, okay, I will take picture for you to. Pag laptop yung gamit natin, guys, this is how it looks like. Yan. This is how it looks like if you're using your laptop or your computer. So you can write your name on the right side. But if you're using your phone again, so just on the sa baba lang po tayo maglagay. Okay? So Ma'am Jonah, just inform me if we will start na. Alright, so good morning Ma'am Jabe Apeliedo. So 15, I guess we still have to wait for another one. I don't think so. If these 15 participants, which I can see on my screen, are all from Smith. That's why I want you to write your name on the right side. Isulat ang iyong pangalan sa right side and ilagay na Smith for you to be recognized. That will be my signal to begin with my presentation po. Again, this live stream is visible to everybody. Therefore, you really have to write your name on the right side for me to recognize you as a student from Smith. Okay? Thank you so much. And please bear with me. As we go on with our discussion later, please use the picture that Ma'am Jonah had sent to you. Yun magiging guide niyo po to follow with my presentation. So for now, let us enjoy the music first. Our background music. Again, I welcome everybody to this webinar. With this webinar, with the theme, Empowering Midwives Amidst COVID-19 Pandemic Through Research. So in here, we will learn how to use research in solving different problems, not just in school, health condition, and many more. All right, good morning, Ma'am Queenie Marie Albarazin from Smith. Thank you so much. I guess we're almost complete, Ma'am Jonah. So as we start later, guys, please prepare the slide na design sa inyo ni Ma'am Jonah as your guide because there will be no presentation on this live stream. Kasi mahirap po kasi, we're using this virtual today and we're not used to do it. Kaya medyo mahirap yung adjustment natin. So buti naman yung iba nakakonect sila. Alright, so shout out to the Dean of the College of Midwifery, Ma'am Catherine Soribio. Ma'am, thank you so much for watching. So ayan, our Dean is already in this live stream. Thank you so much, Ma'am. Good morning to you. And of course, to Ma'am Jonalyn Siguban, one of the best teachers in midwifery, I guess. Again, I am acknowledging the presence of the Dean of the College of Midwifery. Same as true with Sir Peter Paul Jocades, the Dean of the College of Criminology. Sir, thank you so much for coming in to this live. So again, I am acknowledging the presence of the Dean of the College of Midwifery, Ma'am Catherine Soribio. Ma'am, thank you so much. And same as true with the Dean of the College of Criminology, we have Sir Peter Paul Jocades. And of course, to my ateng, one of the best teachers in Smith, Ma'am Jonalyn Siguban. So please give me a sign, give me a cue, Ma'am Jonah, if we will start now with our presentation. For the meantime, let us enjoy first the music here. Enjoy the background music. Okay, major shout out to the school president of Southern Mindanao Institute of Technology. We have the school president, Sir Federico S. Sinieres Jr. Sir, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. And good morning to everyone who's here today. Again, Ma'am Jonah, just give me a cue if I will start now with my presentation. I guess everybody is ready. Okay, again, shout out to Sir Alimuddin Andang, RN Man, the Chief Nurse of Sultan Kudarat Provincial Hospital. Sir, thank you so much for watching. So, ayan, marami tayo, guys. Same as with Ma'am Euphemia Aprosta, the Smith School Registrar. Ma'am, thank you so much. Major shout out to you, Ma'am Euphemia Aprosta, the School Registrar of Southern Mindanao Institute of Technology. Thank you so much, Ma'am, for coming in. All right, thank you so much, Ma'am Catherine. Okay, thank you in advance. Yes, no problem, Ma'am. Thank you so much. All right, so thank you so much. I guess we have different participants from different provinces. Thank you so much, Ma'am, for watching. To our registered midwives and nurses out there, thank you so much for giving your time to watch this live stream. Okay, we have our registered midwives and nurses from Pinapawan City, Davao City, Matalam North, Cotabato, and Libak, Sultan Kudarat. All right, thank you so much. And welcome to this research webinar. All right, good morning, Ma'am Josephine Ulog from Smith. Thank you so much. Same as true with Sir Christopher Roy Diamante or Ludi Diamante from Smith. All right. So since Ma'am Jonalyn had already given me the signal to start, I guess it is about to start. Okay. Naan ko na yung volume ng background music natin. Anyone can be a researcher. Just explore the world, use your wit, and don't be afraid to try new things out of curiosity. That's actually the essence of research. By the way, I am Mr. Jaime Boy Untalngag Jr., LPT M80. I am professor from Sultan Kudarat State University, and I presented my different papers, researches. And last year, I presented my research at Singapore, in Malaysia, specifically at Malacca City, Malaysia. And all of my researches are all about ethnography because I work more on the culture, tradition. I also work research with problems in school. I actually taught in DepEd for 6 years from Salumping National High School. I was just hired here last August 26, 2019, and it's my privilege and honor to share to you what I've learned with research. Of course, since all of the participants here are new with research, I'll be dealing with the basic ones. Let us begin with the basic ones. How to start with the research? What are the things to be considered? How to create a title? How are we going to identify the variables? And how sure we are that our study is plausible or achievable? Right. So I welcome everybody to this seminar workshop on research or thesis writing with a theme empowering midwives amidst COVID-19 pandemic through research. So from the theme itself, we can see how important research is. How does research play in our life? The important role that research is playing in our lives. So, good morning, everyone. Sometimes, have you asked yourself, with the existence of different technology, different apps, different inventions, which we think sometimes as human being, it's quite impossible. Parang imposible, di ba? May mga bagay minsan na invento ng, kumbaga, we're thinking, kaya ba ito ng tao? For example, why there is a Facebook? Why there is a Wi-Fi? Why there is this different applications on our phone? Why there is a plane flying? Why do we have these phones? Why do we have this power bank? Another thing is we're now facing the COVID-19. So we have the existence of the kit, different medicines, how to evade from this problem or from this pandemic. Why there is a new curriculum we call K to 12 curriculum. Why there is a glutathione. Diba? Have you ever asked yourself with the existence of these things? They are quite impossible because, as human beings, sometimes we can think, how can we achieve this? And everything we can see, look around in your surroundings. You can see different innovations, your aircon, our laptop, our car, everything that we can see that surrounds us. Have you ever asked yourself, how did these things being made? Do you have that kind of curiosity sometimes? Like asking yourselves, where did those things come from? Saan sila nagmula? Diba? Who made them? Sinong gumawa sa kanila? And most importantly, how are they made? How are they being made? Of course, it's because of what we call, it's because of research. Everything is possible with research. Every problem can be solved through research. And all our curiosities can be answered through research. See? With that situation, we can see or we can vouch how important research is and how does research play this vital role in our lives. So this morning, we're going to discuss research and its three major parts. So these three major parts are some important consideration before we come up or before we start with planning or formulating for our research. Alam nyo class, or alam nyo guys, doing research is not really that easy. No? There are many considerations. So we're going to discuss that one. I hope everybody is following. So now what is research? Bakit mahalaga ang bagay na to? What is it in research that everybody looks for, that everybody wants to learn, for promotion, for business, addressing problems? So, di ba? Malalaman natin dyan how important research is. Now, research is a process of systematic inquiry Okay, so when you say inquiry, it's about asking questions or investigating. That entails collection of data. In research, we are also doing this collection of data. Documentation of critical information. We use picture, video, okay, to document the data that we need in our study. And of course, we have analysis. We have to analyze, especially with the relationships, which is we're going to discuss later. And we also do this interpretation of data. How are we going to interpret the data we have collected? Because it's not just simply we're collecting data. We have to interpret the data, okay? Because our goal here is to address problem. That's why we create or we conduct research. Another thing is research is conducted to evaluate the validity of a hypothesis. Because sometimes we are creating our hypothesis. For example, today we are now facing the pandemic, COVID-19. Sometimes mga tao, ang COVID-19 ba is ginawa ba talaga ng China para i-invade ang world? Or saan ba nagmula ang COVID-19? O, minsan sabi natin, we have our hypothesis. Hypothesis is our intelligent guess. We are our presumption. May mga presumption tayo minsan that something like this. Siguro ang COVID-19 is nagmula sa hayop. Di ba? Now, how can we prove that COVID-19 is coming from the animals? Or how can we say that COVID-19 created by the Chinese? That's a simple example only. So we can prove our hypothesis, or we can prove that this hypothesis or our assumptions or our sometimes chismis, kasi minsan, di ba, chismis. Isang hypothesis ang chismis, minsan may nakita tayong tao, may kasama siya. Baka kabit niya yun. So that's our hypothesis in our mind. Now, how can we prove that that person is her or his kabit? Of course, kailangan mo ngayon mag-usisa. Inquiry. Kailangan mo i-document. Kailangan picturean mo sila that they are doing something na magpo-prove that they are kabit, that they are having this relationship. So that's actually about what? Validating the collected data. Before we can say, okay, ito, kabit niya pala si Kwan. Okay, ang coronavirus pala is gawa ng China. We can say that right after the interpretation or validation of data or through the collected data na analyze natin, that will prove that our hypothesis is true. Kasi nag-undergo siya ng process that's under our methodology. We're going to discuss it later. Don't worry. Moving on now, I will be giving you the 3 major types of research which are commonly used. Kasi minsan, actually, there are lots of research. But since we're just given limited time for this, I'm just going to share you what is needed at ano talaga yung as a midwives, as teachers, as nurse. So ano ba yung commonly used na research, na type ng research? So that's I'm going to share to you. Now we have, first, the qualitative research. So what is this? What is qualitative research? Of course, when you say qualitative, it's more on description, narrative, videos, interviews, FGD or the focus group discussion. We also have observation, experiment. The common example of qualitative study or qualitative research is the case study. Now, here in SCSU, in our nursing, College of Nursing, so they actually make research which is about, or it's under the case study. So ang case study is under qualitative study. Why? Because in case study, we don't have to use statistics. We don't actually solve. So what we do in case study, we just interview. We interview our informants or our participants. In qualitative study, we call our participants, our respondents as participants. Okay? And the one that I'm using and I'm doing, which is really a trend today in research, is ethnography. Now, what is ethnography study? This study focuses on the culture traditions of a certain tribe or group of people. For example, their wedding. Now, as a nursing student or as a midwife, is it possible to create an ethnographic study? Yes, you can. For example, you want to study about the culture of Teduray or Manubo or Boli. So since kayo isa kayong medical student, you can now focus with how this tribe value their health, diba? And you can also work with traditional medicine of this tribe that's actually aligned with your course. For example, paano ba gumagamot or ano ba yung mga ways ng panggagamot ng tribong Tiduray? That's ethnography, but that's under your course. Kasi minsan, if you look forward for promotion, kasi if possible, your research should be aligned with your field of specialization. Ako as an English teacher, I'm more on culture, I'm more on language, I'm more on module, how to learn English. So kayo naman as a medical student, midwife, so you can work on that. The problem encountered by this tribe in terms of panganganak, di ba? That's actually one of the major problems, especially in our place in Salumping. That's actually one of the major problems. So that's ethnography. Next, we have the quantitative research. From the word itself, quantitative, it's more on numerical. It's more on number. Numerical, survey, questionnaires, and of course, it has statistics. Now, in quantitative research, the common use of the instrument that we commonly use in statistics or in quantitative research, is questionnaire. We disperse, we give questionnaire. But today, as a trend, we can use both strategy. We can use the mixed one, the qualitative and quanti, because there are some people who would say, quantitative research could be manipulated. Bakit siya? Kasi you're just sending your questionnaire. So as a researcher, pwede mong i-manipulate, pwede mong palitan. For example, do you brush your teeth? How often? Or maybe yes, no. Di ba? Pwede sabihin na no lang. Or, for example, you are evaluating some course. Does this course help you? Or we'd say, is the program in Smith really addressed the problem of the students? For example, lang yan na. So maybe yes, no. So di ba, as a researcher, it's manipulative in the sense that pwede mong palitan yung answer ng bata. But in qualitative, hindi siya mapapalitan because you're doing your observation, you're doing your mag-video ka, mag-take ka ng picture. So it's quite realistic siya. Kaya it's good to use the mixed method. Yan, the mixed method, the use of qualitative and quantitative. You are giving questionnaire at the same time, you're also doing your interview, your FDG or your FGD, focus group discussion, you are doing your video presentation, etc. That could really prove that this phenomenon or this problem is existing. Any question? Now, research starts with a problem and ends with a solution. Do you believe on that? That research starts with a problem and ends with a solution. That's absolutely yes. Okay? That's why, as if you're a graduating student, ngayon pa lang, formulate na kayo ng question, ano ba yung problem na present sa school namin? Ano ba yung problem or health problem? Since you are medical students, you can work more on health problem. Ano ba yung health problem na meron sa community namin na pwede kong gawa ng study? Or, ano ba yung mga factors na bakit maraming dropout sa College of Midwives? Diba? Parang ganun. Or ano ba yung problem na na-encounter ngayon ng mga tao amidst COVID-19? Those are some examples of study na pwede nyong gawin in your field. Now, I will give you some of the prone or common problems that are prone to research. Ito yung mga problem or these are some clues. I'm giving you ideas na pwede nyong gawin as the focus of your study. Now, We have the students' behavior, the mental health of the students. So what are the factors affecting the behavior of these students? Another thing, midwives' experiences. So ano ba yung mga experiences? So it is case study ha, kasi it's more on experiences. So ano ba yung mga experiences ng mga midwife as they deal with their patients? Di ba? Next, performance of nursing or midwife students. So pwede. Bakit ang mga midwife sa batch na to is active than this batch? Ano ba yung problem? So hanapin mo yung problem through research. Another example, factors of depression. Bakit maraming taong depressed? Okay? That's an interesting topic actually. Suicidal. Bakit maraming nagsusuicide? What are the factors that trigger this young or this youth to take this suicidal? No problem. Ito, early marriage. Usually nangyari ito sa mga IP. Actually guys, I'm proud IP. I'm a pure-blooded Taduray from Salumping Esperanza Sutangkudat, and I agree on this that one of the major problems we have in our community is the early marriage, no? Kasi maaga pa yung mga batang nag-asawa. So ngayon, I guess, pasok pa rin yan sa scope nyo as a medical student because it talks about marriage, papasok din ng health. So pwede siya. What are the factors? Ano ba yung mga factors na akapekto? Bakit nagkakaroon ng early marriage? Is it part of the culture, tradition? Or is it a choice of a certain young one? Or decision ba ito ng parents? Is it parental decision? So you can prove those things right after your research. Now, effects of social media on health. Diba? Pwede na ito siya. Kasi maraming estudyante ngayon that they are actually nagababad sila sa internet, no? So ano ba yung epekto nito sa health nila, sa kalusugan nila? So you can have that as your study. Next, parental guidance towards academic performance of midwife students. So, ito papasok ngayon, ano ba yung mga rason bakit may mga midwife student na nag-stop? Ano yung problem? Does it have connection with the parental guidance? Okay? Ano ba? Or is it problem? Ano ba yung mga problem na nangyari? Bakit nagkakaroon? Or maybe this year, bakit bumaba yung enrollment ng SNP? So, pwede yan under your study. And that could actually help the school. No? Again, guys, we are doing research. It should have the advocacy. Sabi nga nila, a real research should have the advocacy. What is it? When we talk about advocacy, try to think for our research na hindi lang siya for compliance, na hindi lang siya dahil gusto mo lang sumikat, you wanted to have this kind of study. But always bear in mind that when you do a research, dapat meron itong advantage or benefits sa school or to your recipients. Sino ba ang maka-benefit sa aking study? Kasi 'di ba, mas maganda yung study if it helps people. Sabi nga kanya, 'di ba? Research starts with a problem and ends with a solution. Now, how can you say that your study ends with a solution kung wala ka nang tulungan? Kasi yung study mo, manipulative lang, gigawa-gawa mo lang, or binili mo lang. Unfortunately, binili mo lang. So, I discourage everybody to buy. Okay, mas maganda yung kayo magawa ng research. But, you can seek for assistance. You can seek for assistance, help from experts, especially if you find research as difficult one. Pwede kayong maka-ask ng help. Anyway, I am here to help you. Just call me and I'll be there with your mission, guys. So you can ask me. I am very willing. I'm willing to help you guys when it comes to research. Yung makakaya ko lang naman. Pag hindi naman, so pass. Alright. So another, maybe we can also create research about experiences of midwives or nurses during the outbreak of COVID-19. So ano ba yung naging buhay ng mga nurses, ng ating mga frontliners during COVID-19? Na-depress ba sila? Na-stress ba sila? So that's another important or interesting topic when doing a research. And that's actually relevant to your field. Relevant talaga siya, guys. Next, we can also do with the coping mechanisms of midwives in the hospital. So coping mechanism, we can't deny the fact that in our job we are facing stress, and then stress, maybe yung environment natin unhealthy, we have toxic colleagues, well, it's a joke, toxic colleague, or maybe we encountered problem how we deal with our colleagues. So ano yung coping mechanism mo as a worker? So ano yung mga solution mo to deal with the stress, to this problem? Kasi kapag hindi natin ma-deal yung problem natin, it will really lead us to stress, depression. Kaya yung marami tayong kulubot minsan, that's actually because of stress. Now, how can we cope it? Ano yung mga coping mechanism natin? Or maybe if you are a research enthusiast, dahil nakikita mo ngayon na bakit stress yung mga nurses sa provincial hospital, bakit stress yung mga maybe yung mga nurses or midwives sa Sandig. Sample lang natin na kasi malapit. So ano ba yung gagawin mo as researcher? So gawa ka ngayon ng case study, interview mo sila, then you're going to find a solution how to help these people to cope with their stress, with their problem. Diba? Diyan pa lang, your research is already advocative because you could able to help people out from your study. Hindi lang siya basta study, but it has a purpose. Okay, Gloria Vicente, Falan Betong. Yes, Falan Betong. Now, clear with the common problems? Anyway, I already gave you my slide and you can read it as long as you want. And afterwards, you can ask questions later. Now, how to create a title? You know what? Minsan, making a title is very simple for others. But for others, it's quite difficult. Mahirap. Bakit? Hindi naman ito tula na simple gagawa ka ng title. Okay na. Ang alaga kong pusa, di ba? Ang aso kong mataba. Hindi naman ganun ang research. Mahirap ang research. Or maybe, ikaw. Hindi pwede na one word lang yung title natin. Or maybe, ang alamat ng COVID. Hindi yan pwede kasi kwento yan siya. Because in creating a title, it's way different from fiction, writing fiction. Kasi ang research hindi ito fiction, it's non-fiction. It is based on reality and it will be dealing with reality. Kaya hindi lang basta-basta gawa ng research with a simple title. We have to consider something in creating a title. Now, title should have the cause and effect. Ano itong cause and effect? So in cause and effect, you are testing two variables in here. No? For example, we have your independent and dependent variables. So, I know right now you are confused. Ano itong independent variable? Anong dependent variable? Parang variable, nasa math lang man siya. No, man, sir. Variable is also present in research. Yes, you are right. It is present in research. Now, you're going to test the relationship between these two variables. Okay, for example, I will give you example of a title wherein the two variables are visible. Okay. Ba't ayaw niyo mag-escape? Ulitin natin, guys. Typical. Okay. For example, this is my title, guys. Look at my title. Example of title. Health condition amidst COVID-19 and academic performance of midwife students. Again, this example is health condition amidst COVID-19 and academic performance of midwife student. So napansin nyo, we already have two variables there. We have two variables there. What are the two variables? The health condition and academic performance. Health condition is our independent variable because it affects our dependent variable, which is the performance of midwife students, di ba? So bakit? Tinawag siyang independent variable ang health condition because our health condition can affect how we perform in our school, how we perform in our duty, how we perform in our school, how we perform in our field of specialization. Kasi di ba pag kasi we are now conscious kapag may trangkaso lang tayo, we are thinking na baka may positive ako sa COVID-19, di ba? Excuse me. We are becoming paranoid. So that's actually health condition, di ba? We are becoming paranoid. So how does it affect our performance? Maybe mag-absent ka na. Hindi ka nagawa ng mga activity mo ngayon, so mababagsak ka, hindi ka makagraduate sa pagiging midwife mo. So that's a problem that could be solved through research. So yan. Gets? Yan. We have here I know you have the copy of this. Just use it. Ayan. Health condition amidst COVID-19 and academic performance of midwife student in Smith, for instance. Now, health condition is amidst COVID-19 is the cause and the independent variable. Again, health condition amidst COVID-19 is our cause and will serve as our independent variable. Now, academic performance of midwife students is the effect and the dependent variable. Because how does health condition affect the performance in school of a midwife student? They could actually affect one another, guys, and that's whether we like it or not, that's actually true. And there are many existing studies that focus on that problem, and that's really true. True talaga na naka-apekto yung ating health condition sa ating performance. Not just in school, even in our family, even in our certain field of specialization, sa trabaho natin minsan. So yan yung kaibahan ng independent and dependent variable in our study. That's actually for title again. Let us recapitulate. In creating title, there should be two variables. The dependent and independent variable, or the cause and effect. For example, the health condition is the cause or the independent, and the academic performance is our dependent or the effect. Because how does this health condition affect our performance? Excuse me. And class, the title pala is for mixed method. Pero kapag ang gagawin yung study is case study, pwede yung sabihin na the experience of midwife in Smith. Pwede ganun na yung title natin kapag qualitative study tayo because we're not doing statistics. Ang gawin natin is more on kuha lang tayo, interview. So pwede na siya ganun, guys. No? Another example is, for example, reference point on the health condition of Taduray people. The title class is under qualitative ethnographic study. So, okay lang siya na kahit wala na siyang two variables class kasi ethnography naman siya and hindi ka naman magsasolve. Hindi ka na magte-test ng kanilang correlation. Hindi ka na magte-test ng relationship ng dalawang variable. Ang gagawin mo lang kapag ethnographic, yun yung kagandahan ng ethnographic, guys. Kasi you're not doing more on solving. Wala ka naman siya ng solving. Excuse me. Ang gawin mo lang is you're going to collect, validate data, document. Yun ang gagawin natin. No? Kapag qualitative study or ethnographic. Again, as what I've said earlier, kahit nursing tayo or midwife, we can also deal with ethnographic. Hindi lang siya for language teacher like me. We can also conduct study under ethnographic by knowing the health condition of this tribe, of this group of people, why they are encountering this problem. Okay? Now, let's begin with chapter 1. So ano ba? What do you think are the contents of chapter 1? Ano meron sa chapter 1? Chapter 1 na tayo, guys. Of course, chapter 1, it has your introduction or the background of the study. Now, in your introduction, what is the important about introduction? This actually leads your reader to your research. So sa ating introduction, we can use our own idea or own idea natin. Then, we can also use citation. For example, according to NAG 2009, health condition is blah, blah, blah. According to Siguban 2020, di ba, we cite existing study that will support our research. Another reminder, when we are citing existing studies, see to it that this is reliable, that this is existing, hindi ghost. Now, what are the consideration? Dapat na-publish siya through ISI, na-publish sa mga recognized sa mga referred journal or mga publication na sikat, kilala. Sa taas kasi may makita kayo dyan guys na ISN number, ISBN number means that study is reliable, true, factual, hindi siya ghost. Okay? Kasi alam nyo guys, may mga guide minsan sa internet, kasi minsan di ba, tamada tayo pumunta ng library, sir, mahirap maghanap ng RRL, mahirap maghanap ng citation na ilagay ko sa introduction ko. So ang gagawin mo ngayon is, gagawa ka na lang ng, or kukopya ka yun sa Google na kahit sino, hindi mo alam na joke lang pala yun, hindi yun existing, hindi reliable. Because especially in Wikipedia, I discourage you to have to get citation from Wikipedia because pwedeng i-edit ang Wikipedia. It is a site of everybody, pwede mong i-edit, so it's not reliable guys. I'm so sorry. Kasi kapag sa intro pa lang, makita na ng panel or reader, hindi man ito sikat na writer ang site niya, parang hindi man ito existing. Kumbaga, nawawala yung credibility ng study natin. So, how can the reader will read cover to cover ng iyong study kung sa intro pa lang, tigwak na, di ba? So, di ba? First page pa lang ng study mo, parang it's uncertain. Parang you're not sure with your study. So, paano ngayon yung maging result? So, di ba? Masisira yung credibility ng ating study. Kaya minsan, huwag natin i-disregard. Introduction lang man yan. So, as much as possible, we really have to take seriously every part, every page of our research. Kasi research yan, libro. And with that result, you can help people. So now, kung mali yun ang result mo, mali ang recommendation mo, so ma-mislead natin yung tao. For example, may mga future researcher na gusto nilang gumawa ng study na align sa study natin, then gagamitin nilang guide yung study natin. Then yung study para natin, unreliable, hindi true, copy-copy lang, joke-joke, diba? So, pangit siya guys. So, ayan, no? This is important. You can, yung aking ginawa ko, the Philippine Constitution of 1987, Section 2, mention that. Diba? That's really reliable because Philippine Constitution is existing. Pero beware tayo sa mga wordings natin. Baka may miss kang word like typographic error. Yan. Anoya 2004, as cited by Masendo 2015, that indigenous people are living descendants of, parang ganun yung mga example. Or we can also cite like, health condition is blah, blah, blah. This sa last part, lagyan nyo ng open parenthesis, NAG 2001. So, pwedeng ganun yung pag-cite natin. Anyway, may example naman dyan, no? Just follow with our example. Now, are we clear with the with introduction? Then, in introduction, I guess, 1 to maybe you're asking, sir, ilang pages ba? Then also, in your introduction, lagyan mo ng kunting idea yung reader mo kung ano yung kahalagahan. Like, at the last part of your introduction, the vital purpose of this study is to determine or to assess the health condition of midwives in Smith. Parang ganun, di ba? So, I guess yung standard, pwede na 1 to 2 pages or 1 to 3 pages will do. Yung introduction, wag naman sobrang haba, like 5, 10 pages, grabe. So, you can have at least minimum of 2 to 3 pages. Okay? Wag na lampas dyan. Okay. Adjust ang music natin. I-off na natin ang music natin. So ayan, okay na ba Ma'am Jonah? Sorry guys, kasi sanay ako na mag-music sa aking YouTube channel. Sana yun? So yun, as for introduction, you can have at least minimum of 2 pages and 3. Maximum of 3 or 4 siguro will do. No? Pero depende na rin sa school nyo. Kasi alam nyo guys, um, depende sa school. No? There are some school kasi na they require ganun. Anyway, hindi naman ako yung monopoly ng learning. I mean, it's not under my control kasi although I'm talking research in general, pero bawat school kasi may mga guidelines tayo, may mga APA format, merong mga um, may mga kakasiyan siya, may mga level-level yung APA format na yan. So just abide or bear with your school na lang. Next part of chapter 1 is yan, the conceptual framework. So what is conceptual framework? Ito na. Earlier, I told you that in creating a title, there should be the cause and effect or the independent and dependent variable. Now, dito mo ngayon ma-present sa part number 2 ng chapter 1 mo yung iyong conceptual framework. So yan. How does it look like? Dalawang box, so may arrow going right. So yan. Sa left nyo is the independent variable or the cause, which is the health condition. Now, on the right side, dyan mo ilalagay sa box na yan, yung independent variable. Ayan, the academic performance of midwife student. Now, conceptual framework shows the relationship of these two variables. Like, how does independent variable affects your dependent variable? Of course, it's really true, no? Na yung health condition natin is, it could really affect our performance, not just in school, but also in our respective field of specialization. But, conceptual framework like this is applicable for mixed or quantitative study. When your study has the statistics. Pero kung yung study mo is purely gathering data, kalang like what I've said earlier, it's more on qualitative, collecting data, or ethnography. So ito yung gagawin natin. We use this IPO. The input, process, and output. Ayan. So what is it in input? So ito yung input, ito yung mga raw materials natin, no, na gamitin natin. Process. Anong process? How did you do your study? Nag-interview ka ba, nag-video, and the output. Because output, the result. Kumbaga, ito yung coping mechanism. Now, for example, yung problem is the experiences of midwife or nurse inside the hospital. So yan yung input, no? Now the process, how do you do this? How are you going to conduct this? Okay. And output, yung magiging result na siya under your recommendation. Kung ano yung i-recommend mong solution, how this nursing students or midwife will cope with their stress or depression. Okay, moving on. Ito. The statement of the problem or objectives of the study. Actually, this serves as the backbone of your research. Bakit tinawag na backbone? Kasi dito nakasalala yung result ng yung study. Then dapat align, anchored yung SOP natin sa ating result. Kasi ito yung pinaka-importanting part ng research. This is the most important part of research, our statement of the problem. Because dito magmumula ang ating data. Dito nakarely how are we going to construct our question? How are we going to construct our questionnaire? Our question for our interview, and same as with the solution. So, as a researcher, we always see to it that all these questions can be answered. So, ito yung maging guide natin. This is our guiding star in answering all the questions or all the problems. Kasi ang problem na to is dito, nagsimula ito sa problem, no? Sa problem. Then ginawan mo ngayon ng specific and general. Because in SOP, there should be a general question or general problem and specific problem. For example, yung study natin is about health condition and academic performance of midwife students. So, anong mga question natin? So, we can start with, ano ba usually yung mga pwede natin gawing question kapag yun ang pa natin? O, pwede natin gawin na what is the level of academic achievement of midwife students. So, pwede ganun, no? What is the level? So, yun yung mga itatest natin. No? And how does this health condition affect the performance of this midwife student? Parang gano'n, no? Simple lang yan siya, guys. Now, we also have our hypothesis or hypothesis setting. Of course, when we say hypothesis, this is our intelligent guess. And it is to accept or reject. So whether to accept or reject, it depends upon the result of our study. Tulad na sinabi ko kanina, for example, nag-hypothesize ka ngayon na, okay, ang COVID-19 ay gawa ng Chinese. So paano mo siya ma-prove na totoo? Kasi dyan, hypothesis pa lang man yan siya. So through the result of your study. And how can you say, kanina, for example, may nakita ang tao, may kabit niya yung kasama niya. So how can you prove na kabit niya yun? Through your result. Kasi nag-interview ka, nag-picture ka, nakita mo sila actual na magkasama. So that's the right time, or I guess it's about time to say, okay, to accept your hypothesis. Or we call it setting your prospect result. We are giving our hypothesis. Kumbaga, we are doing our presumption natin, di ba? Kasi minsan may mga haka-haka tayo. We call it haka-haka. No? Haka-haka pa natin. But, hindi natin pwedeng spread ang haka-haka kasi chismis yan. Kasi walang ebidensya. Hindi siya nag-undergo ng process. Okay? So, dapat gawan mo ng research for you to tell or to say or to prove that this phenomenon, this problem, this issue is really true. Dahil nagkanda ka ng study. So, that's it. So, yan, no? So you can prove your hypothesis right after your result. Kapag nag-gather ka ng data, na-analyze mo yung data mo, na-interpret mo, so you can now say, okay, tama pala yung hypothesis ko. Kabit niya pala. Gawa pala ng China yung COVID-19. Kasi masasabi mo siyang tama kasi na-prove mo siya through your result. You undergo process, may mga methodology ka, nag-research ka, nag-inquire ka, lahat-lahat ginawa mo. Okay? But see to it naman, yung ginawa mo is ginawa mo talaga. Baka nagawa-gawa ka lang dyan, according to, nag-interview ako kunyari. So, that's a big no. Or maybe kumopya ka ng, take note ha, when you use a citation from a certain author, please always acknowledge them by citing their name. Kasi kapag hindi mo gi-cite, pwede tayong kasuhan ng, ng plagiarism. Plagiarism, pwede tayong makulong when we copied ideas. And ngayon, actually dati, for example, kinopya mo yung idea, then rephrase mo. Rephrase means to change the words, pero yung thought andun pa rin. Pero ngayon, actually, kapag kinopya mo yung idea ng isang author, pero gi-reword mo siya, okay, this is still plagiarism. So, dapat acknowledge mo pa rin siya. Although you use your own word, maliban na lang kung yung school nyo is hindi particular, walang plagiarism checker. What if your school has this plagiarism checker? So, sa plagiarism checker, makita mo doon kung ilang percent yung original na ginawa niya at ilang percent yung kinopya. And, may consequence yan. Kaya be careful tayo, ha? To make it careful na lang, just cite the people or the person or the author, the researcher who said or who cited this kind of statement that will surely affect or support your study. Moving on. Next is ito, the significance of the study. Is it really necessary? Minsan yung mga researcher ako dati that, sir, sabi mo kanina, SOP is the backbone of the research. So I guess hindi na kailangan ng significance. No. Bakit kailangan ng significance? Bakit? Anyone can answer? Of course, as what I've said earlier, our research should have advocacy. Sino ngayon ang beneficiaries? Sino ngayon ang recipients ng iyong study mo? Wala lang. Patay ang research natin when there is no significance or when there is no recipients. Diba, as what I've said, research starts with a problem and ends with a solution. So how are you going to use the solution? To help these people who encountered this kind of problem. So ganon. Now, who will benefit your study? And of course, in creating our significance of the study, there should be the general and specific. What is it? For example, the purpose of this study is to assess the health condition of midwife students at Southern Mindanao Institute of Technology. So that is general. To the teacher, o ganon. This study will help them create strategy or find strategy how to help the students. Parang ganun yung specific. To the students, di ba? This study will help them cope their problem when it comes to health condition. Specific. To the researcher herself or himself, this study will help her appreciate the essence of having good health condition. Parang ganun, di ba? That's actually an example of specific and general significance. So yeah, no, significance that actually shows the purpose of our study because, di ba? We live here with a purpose. We are created by God with purpose. Same as with research. We create research. We come up with a research because it has purpose. What is this purpose? The purpose is to help people to solve problems in our school, in our department, even in our lives minsan, no? Because we have some problems, personal problems, which we cannot really solve. Pwede ba kaya sa research? Pwede, no? Pwede. But let others do it for you naman. Yes, good morning, Shalame Lopez. Okay, mag-shoutout muna tayo. Good morning, Sokria Sakal. Good morning, Catherine Kyle Lopez Canlas. Mona Galvez, Emily Balwan, Charlotte Espirito, Gloria Vicente, and many more. So meron tayo dito meron ako nakita kanina guys. Saan yun siya? From South Cotabato, kuano siya? North Cotabato. Hindi ko nakita. Meron kaya dito from North Cotabato siya. So ayan, no? Significance. So dapat ganon. We should always think for the recipients of our study. Kasi dapat ganon, no? Kasi kapag ang research natin walang significance, so why? What's the use of conducting the study? Para ano? Then one more thing in research, pwede nating pakakitaan ng research. For example, nagustuhan ngayon ng Smith ang study mo, nakatulong sa Smith to help them cope with the problem of the students. So pwede mo ngayon, pwede gamitin ng Smith ngayon yung recommendation mo to create a program to address that problem or a problem in a health condition. Diba? So nakatulong ka ngayon. Not just in Smith, for example, yung respondents mo or participants mo is from nurses at provincial hospital. Then maganda yung result. So pwede ngayon kunin or gamitin ngayon ng provincial capital ang iyong or provincial hospital ang iyong study as a guide to solve their problem. Kasi nagandahan sa recommendation mo, dumaan sa tamang proseso. So pwede na yung bilhin sa'yo at pera na yun, di ba? May pera, that's why research is life. No? Research is life talaga. That's significance. All right, next part is the scope, not scope and delimitation. The scope and delimitation. Ano bang meron sa scope and delimitation? Now, the range of your study including the vicinity and the time frame of your study. Bakit merong scope? Kasi as a researcher, dito malaman yung scope yung range ng study mo. Kung hanggang kalan, hanggang saan, kung sino lang dapat yung maging respondents mo. Kasi kapag wala kang scope, you are not guided. Pwedeng malito ka sa research mo, hindi mo alam where to go, di ba? Because that includes your time frame. Okay? For example, this research is only focusing on the experiences of midwife students in Smith. So dapat, dahil sa scope lang, doon lang dapat yung scope ng yung study, yung range. Huwag ka nalabas sa experiences ng mga criminology, experiences ng mga teacher. So out na yun. Kasi hindi siya pasok sa scope mo. And as a researcher, mahirap sa part mo kapag masyadong broad yung scope mo. Dapat delimit lang siya. Kaya delimitation siya, the term delimitation is a limitation or that is set by a researcher herself or himself. Ikaw as a researcher, ikaw yung bahala mag-delimit. If you think na kaya lang naman ng study mo na dito lang, so madali siya, much better. Pero kung gusto mo regional-wide, so it's up to you. No? Pwede rin sa'yo as a researcher. Okay, scope and delimitation will lead your reader to the extent of your research. Extent. Hanggang saan, hanggang kailan, sino-sino ang kasali sa study mo, that's under your scope and delimitation. Because as a researcher, you already set the range of your study. Na ito lang dapat, hindi lalagpas. Okay? Next, this is one. Scope and delimitation will serve as your compass. Compass on where to go and where to stop. Diba? Kasi kapag wala kang delimitation, tulad ng compass, diba, it will lead you kung saan ka pupunta sa dagat. Same as with research. Scope and delimitation will serve as our compass. Kasi ikaw as a researcher, so malimit mo, ma-estimate mo yung time. Dapat within the month of January, tapos na ako kasi nasa scope ko. So yan. So dapat yung study ko nasa loob lang ng Smith, hindi lalabas. So that's scope, di ba? That's scope and delimitation. Now, the last part of chapter 1 is this. Definition of terms. Now, ang definition of terms actually medyo simple, pero ito yung because I'm actually doing critic reader kasi ako, and I actually check different theses, researches of a students from master, undergrad, and even in high school. So what I have observed, maraming researchers sa definition of terms, from the word itself, definition of terms means you are going to define the important words, hindi lahat ha, some words, significant words, or uncommon words na namakita sa study mo. Okay? Namakita sa study mo. But, paano ba mag-define? Is it okay ba na mangopya sa dictionary? Is it okay ba na mangopya sa book? Sa Google? Is it okay? Anyone? This is not okay. This is a big violation in the definition of terms. Why? Because definition of terms should be defined operationally. When we say operationally, you're going to define these terms as how you use them in your study. Diba? Kung paano maginamit ang word na yan, so dapat yun mo siya i-define in your study. Okay? For example, Smith. Isa sa definition term Smith. O baka i-define mo ang Smith. O anyway, walang definition ng Smith kasi proper noun. So how are you going to define Smith? Smith is one of the colleges in Tacorong City that cater different learners, parang ganon, and which consider us the locale of this study. So, di ba, na-integrate siya. Another thing is, for example, ano ba yung mga words? Health condition. For example, health condition, maraming definition ng health condition sa dictionary. Pero huwag mong kopyahin. Paano mo siya ngayon i-define? Health condition. Maybe you could say, this is one of the issue. This is one of the pressing issue encountered by the students in Smith, which given focus by the researcher. Parang ganun, di ba? That's operational definition. Kasi kapag i-define mo ang health condition as it is being defined in dictionary, that is not operational, okay? That is generic, di ba? That is generic kasi kinopya mo lang siya saan? Sa book or sa Google. That's not operational and it's a big no. Again, when you, and another example, and another, clarification pala. Sir, lahat ba ng terms kopyahin? No. Just get those terms which are really unfamiliar and they are playing vital role in your research. Alright, thank you so much, ma'am. You're welcome, Ma'am Cathy Marquez. Okay? It's my pleasure to help you guys. It's my pleasure talaga. Okay, going back. Sana yun. So yun, no? This will guide the readers to better understanding. Now, what's the importance of definition of terms? It will guide your reader. For example, may nabasa siyang term doon na it's quite jargon. What is jargon words? Ang jargon words, ito yung mga term na only few people can understand. For example, yung mga medical terms nyo as midwife, as nurse, na kung saan yung mga terms na yun na hindi alam ng mga teacher, katulad ko. So, ilagay mo siya ngayon sa definition of terms mo and i-define mo siya as what it is or how it is used in your study. That makes your terms operational. Okay? So ngayon, me as a reader, kasi binasa ko yung thesis mo about health condition, then gumamit ka ng mga terms na hindi familiar sa akin. So it will help me to better understanding of your entire paper. Kasi binigyan mo ako ng overview, what does this word all about? Or what does this word mean? Okay? So yun yung kagandahan ng study natin if we define words operationally. Alright. Any question? So again, thank you so much for watching Ma'am Josephine Ulog from Midsayap. Alright. So hindi lang pala ang scope natin within Sultan Kudarat. Meron tayo from Midsayap. Thank you so much, Ma'am. I hope you will be learning from this presentation. Alright. So again, let's just review. Anong meron sa chapter 1? We have the introduction or the background of the study. Next, number 2, we have conceptual framework. Anong pangatlo? We have SOP or the statement of the problem. 4. Anong meron sa 4? You have your hypothesis or hypothesis setting. But then, if you are doing, I'm not sure kung merong hypothesis setting no need na yata ng hypothesis setting kapag qualitative yung study natin, kapag interview, kapag demographic or ethnographic. 5 is the significance of our study, yung kahalagahan, which has this general and specific statement. 6, we have the scope and the limitation. The scope, the range of your study, where are you going? Where are you going to stop? Hanggang saan? Hanggang kailan? That scope and the limitation. Excuse me. And the last one, we have the definition of terms, wherein you really have to define words operationally. All right. Now, moving on, we are now on the chapter 2. Chapter 2 na tayo. Anyway, in chapter 2, isa lang yung part ng chapter 2 natin. Pero medyo mahirap din. This includes the RRL or the review of the related literature. Excuse me. What is it, RRL? The review of related literature. Now, ano itong mga RRL? Ito yung mga existing study na pwede natin kunin, kopyahin to support our study. For example, ako as a researcher, marami akong ginawang study na sa tingin nyo, may kinalaman sa inyong study, pwede nyo kopyahin yung mga statement ko. But, this is but. You really have to cite my name, no? Apelyido, ngag 2009, cited. Kasi nga, as what I have mentioned earlier, pwede tayong kasuhan ng plagiarism when we do not cite where we get this ideas or this statement. We really have to, okay? Now, mayroon nagtatanong, Sir, anong year ba dapat ang citation? Okay, ako kasi kapag hindi ako stricto, gina-accept ko na from 2000 pataas. Kapag 1999 pababa, parang obsolete na masyado, di ba? Kapag, actually, 2000 is obsolete. Pero minsan kasi, may mga problem or may mga study kasi na mahirap hanapan ng RRL. Kaya, minsan, I consider those researcher that they are asking favor, Sir, pwede na 2000? And another reminder, is it okay ba na mag-cite ka ng 1999? Di ba? Sabi ko, hindi. But, pwede siya kapag na-recite. For example, Alvarez 1999 as cited by Ngag 2020. So, pwede siya gamitin kasi na-recite siya ni Ngag ngayon in the earlier year, in the year 2020. So, naging bago siya kasi binigyan ng buhay ni Ngag na i-cite mo naman ngayon. Pwede siya pag gano'n. No? And another reminder for RRL, we can have the two components, the local and international. Excuse me. Medyo ako yung log. Now, ako kasi at least 10 RRL from local. Ibig sabihin local, ito yung mga published na mga study within Mindanao, within Philippines, within provinces, within your school. So, pwede mo yun siya, that's under local. International naman ito yung mga international. But ito, another thing. For example, taga Mindanao or taga Philippines yung nag-publish, pero yung publication is international, pwede siya. Kasi maraming international publication na nasa Pilipinas, under Philippines. Yung Pasyar, yung akin. Marami actually. Maraming mga publication that they are international but they are held here in our country. So that's considered, that's under local and international. Another thing is, so yun na nga, no? Dapat hindi tayo basta-basta kukuha ng RRL. Dapat, let us check if this author is existing. Yung ginagawa ko kasi, for example, kasi minsan nagmamadali tayo, then we just surf in the net, kasi gusto natin yung madalian na site. So yung ginagawa ko is, kinukuha ko yung name ng author, then i-search ko ulit sa Google if this author is really existing. Baka patay na yung author na yun. Baka ghost author siya. So, mawawala yung credibility ng yung study kapag yung citation natin is patay. If these people are not existing. Or maybe kinopya lang sa Wikipedia. Diba? So, iwasan natin yun. If possible, kung kaya naman natin, see to it na reliable lahat ng guide natin and our RRL. Hindi lang siya pataka. Okay? That this study is really published. But anyway naman, tanggap naman ng unpublished thesis as long as unpublished thesis from a certain university or colleges na ginawa talaga siya at na-approve talaga siya sa library ng isang university under unpublished thesis. Pwede. Journal. Pwede tayo kumuha ng journal as long as reliable pa rin siya. Then minsan, may another problem na encounter ko sa pag-state ng RRL. Minsan, paste na tayo ng paste. Minsan, wala tayong transitional words. For example, you-define mo ang health condition sa first paragraph. Then, health condition. Health condition is health condition. Dapat meron tayong transitional words like, moreover, further, in addition, di ba parang ganon? As Ngag cited 2009, well, minsan, it's quite boring when we only use according to. Di ba pangit? Lahat ng laman ng RRL mo, according to. That's boring. Gawa mo ng kunting twist. Cited by, or pwede i-state mo yung ideas, then ilagay mo yung citation sa baba. Okay? Example, health condition is blah, blah, blah. In close, Ngag 2019. Or, Ngag 2019 cited that health condition is blah, blah, blah. Parang ganon, no? Those are some strategies how to cite or state it. Now, for our chapter 3, I guess last part, we are now on the last part. We are now 1 hour and 35 minutes. Are you still watching, Ate Jonah? Mag-comment ka naman dyan if you're still watching. Anyway, we are now on the last part or last chapter. Kasi yung kuha natin preparatory lang naman to. Chapter 3 is your research methodology. Itong pinakamalaga sa lahat, research methodology. Kasi dito nakasalala yung result ng iyong study. Dito papasok yung ating mga methods, yung mga technique natin, lahat-lahat. Yung mga respondents natin, the place, the local of our study, andito makita sa methodology. Then minsan, may mga panel minsan that from title, SOP, magja-jump yan sila sa methodology. Minsan, pass na yung some parts. Kasi they directly jump to methodology. Kasi minsan dito nagkakaroon ng problem sa methodology. Lalo na sa statistics natin, pag mali-mali yung statistic natin, no? But anyway naman, as you go along, you ask for statistician to help you. Kasi yung akin, basic lang ito. Kasi kapag i-discuss natin ang statistics, hindi matapos sa 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes. Now, what is it in chapter 3? We have the research methodology, the methods, the process, and the most important things, the instruments na gagamitin mo as you go along with your study. And you really have to consider this. Okay? First, we have research design. Ano ba yung design ng research mo? Qualitative ba siya? Quantitative or mix? Or evaluative ba siya? So, you write here kung anong klaseng research meron tayo. Okay? Meron tayo. Because it will also lead our reader to the entire part of our research. So, yan. Research design natin. Okay? Next part, local. Hindi ito locale ha. Minsan may mga professional that they pronounce it as locale. L-O-C-A-L-E. That's local. Pero minsan naman may British man local eh. But no, it's not locale ha. It's local of the study. Local of the study is the location of your study. Whether school-based ba yan, barangay-based, municipal-wide, provincial, regional, national, or international. But in your case, as a student, siguro I guess, pwede na as school-based. It depends upon your research coordinator kung yung scope ng study is within one section lang ba? Or within one campus ba? Or within city of Tacorong? It's up to you. Or it's up to your panel, to your advisor. Pero yun lang yun, no? That's it. Then, in your locale of the study, there should be a map. Dapat may map kayo. But anyway, ngayon naman, we're now in modern world. We don't have to draw or paint map. We can copy through Google Map. Andyan, Google Map, no? Google Map ng ating place. Now, the research methodology under is, we have also this, the respondents or participants. Anong kaibahan ng respondents sa participants? Respondents kapag quantitative yung study natin, participants kapag qualitative. We call them participants. Okay? Participants or minsan informants. Okay, our respondents, mahalaga bang respondents? Is it pataka na lang ba tayo magpili ng respondents natin? Or we have to consider? Anybody? Yes. We have to consider the reliability of our respondents. Or, baka yung respond, for example, your respondents, your title is about health condition and academic performance of midwifery. Tapos yung respondents mo, criminology, it's a big no. Paano mo yung matest yung health condition ng iyong respondents, which is the midwife students, kung yung respondents mo is criminology. Kasi ito yung naging ginagawa ng iba just to cope the number of the respondents, dapat 30-30, kumukuha ng mga ibang respondents out of the population. So, paano matetest yung population ngayon ng isang midwife, yung health condition niya? Kumuha ka ng ibang population from other field. It's a big, big no. If possible, pasok yan sa scope natin. Kung ang scope natin is for midwife, dapat yung respondents natin is only midwife. Then kapag gagawa naman tayo ng ating qualitative study, for example, interview, see to it naman that your interviewees or your respondents or your participants are really encountering this problem. For example, midwife nga siya, pero tauhay naman siya. Hindi siya naka-encounter ng problem. So wala. No? It's a big, big no again. Kumbaga, hindi ma-test yung reliability or hindi ka maka-come up sa perfect result kapag yung respondents mo is mali-mali. So kapag, for example, the title for, let's say, ang study mo is qualitative or case study, the coping mechanism of midwife and nurses in provincial hospital. So dapat yung iyong mga respondents are the group of midwife or nurse who encountered stress, depression. Dapat sila yung respondents mo. Huwag ka kukuha ng respondents mo na hindi naka-experience ng stress because they could not answer you appropriately. They cannot give you data and to think sila yung pinakamalagang part ng yung study. Kasi doon nakarely yung result ng yung study. So kapag mali yung na-provide na data, maling tao, maling result, yung mga maling recommendation, and overall, ligwak yung study. Okay? So dapat lahat into two, lahat hand in hand, lahat talaga is, if possible, reliable. Kung may magic man tayo, kunti lang naman, kunting magic lang, maybe mga 0.1% or 1%. Because we cannot deny that minsan, kailangan natin maging editor din, no? Aminin natin sa hindi, totoo yan. Ako ginagawa ko na rin yan. Ito, sampling technique. It has something to do with in choosing our respondents appropriately. O ilan bang meron ang research? O anybody? Sige, trivia muna tayo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Ilang sampling ang alam nyo? Give me. Number lang. Sige, magsagot. Leave your comment here. Okay. How many sampling techniques do we have? Basically. Anybody? O kahit number lang isagot nyo dyan. Ilang research ang alam nyo? Okay, pwede yung isulat dyan yung alam nyong sampling technique. Sampling technique will help us to choose our respondents. Kasi minsan, we are being biased. May mga researcher na bias. Yung ikaw na lang, anyway, may mga part ng research that we can also be biased. But as much as possible, we should not be biased. Okay, anyone? Sagot. Anong alam nyo na mga sampling technique? Give me at least one. Okay, I'm waiting for your answer. Everybody. Sampling technique tayo. Wala. Nobody knows. At least one. At least one sampling technique. May sumagot. Saan? Hindi ko makita, Ate Jonah. Where is your answer? Okay, 5. 5 yung alam mong sampling technique. Meron pala sa slide, no? Sorry. Wala palang surprise kasi na alam niyo pala ang slide. Okay, moving on. Akala ko. Nakalimutan ko. Akala ko naka-stream. Sorry. Okay, anyway, it's good that you have prior knowledge. Okay, sampling technique. Okay, generally, we have random, we have purposive, we have total enumeration, and we have stratified. We only have four commonly used sampling technique regardless of others. But as far as I am concerned, and sa lahat ng attenan ko mga panel na mga presentation, we have four. Five pala dyan. Four, no? We have random, purposive, total enumeration, and stratified sampling. Now, how do we use random sampling? Kailan tayo gumagamit ng random sampling? Survey. Survey is instrument po. It's not part of sampling. Okay? Survey is an research instrument. Okay. How? Kailan tayo gumagamit ng random sampling? Mga bebes. How di Carabao. Okay. We use random sampling when we have a lot of respondents. For example, kailangan mo lang ng 30 respondents, then yung population size mo is nasa 100. 100. So dahil gusto mo lang, paano ko yung piliin? Kasi ayaw mo maging bias. Ayaw mo maging bias, di ba? So you can do this random sampling using lottery, bunot-bunot, or if all yung name nila, lottery technique yung gamitin mo under random sampling. Okay? Kapag large yung population size mo. Next, total enumeration. Paano ginagawa ang total enumeration? For example, sa Smith, dahil ngayon kailangan mo is 30 lang, so for example, ngayon 30. Tapos, maybe ang student ng Smith na midwife is 30 or 31 lang talaga. So, kukunin mo sila lahat, that's under total enumeration. Kunin mo sila lahat, since na-meet nila yung number na kailangan mo, so pwede mo na kunin. No need na mag-lottery ka, no need ka na maggamit ng ibang sampling technique, but you can use this total enumeration. In that section, for example, ito tubig, lahat sila dito. Since na-meet mo yung number ng tubig, so lahat ito itetest mo. So lahat sila, this is total enumeration. Okay. For example, 5 lang kami na teacher, tapos yung respondents mo teacher, tapos 5 lang. So total enumeration siya. Okay. Next is purposive sampling. Paano nangyayari ang purposive sampling? Ito na yung sasabi kong medyo bias. At saka, anong study? What type of study we actually use purposive sampling? Purposive sampling. Kailan? Anybody can answer? Kailan natin dapat gamitin ang purposive at kailan lang usually nagagamit ang purposive sampling? Kailan? If our study is case study or qualitative study. Bakit? Purposive in the sense that ikaw as a researcher, ikaw yung pipili ngayon ng iyong respondents. Bakit? Because ikaw yung nakakaalam kung sino na yung reliable and knowledgeable enough to give you data pertaining to your question, no? For example, for example, the coping mechanism of midwife and nurses in Sultan Kudarat Provincial Hospital. So ngayon, ikaw, nagiging purposive ang iyong sampling technique kasi ikaw ngayon pipili ng iyong respondents based sa need ng research mo. Pipiliin mo si A, B, C, D ngayon kasi alam mo na, sila yung naka-experience sa mga stress, depression. So that can be considered. No? It's your choice. Hindi lang siya basta choice mo lang. Hindi lang siya choice mo dahil pinili mo sila dahil knowledgeable sila. Minsan kapag ethnography naman yung study mo, for example, ako, gusto ko mag-conduct ng study about the culture of the Duray. So ngayon, ako yung pipili ng respondents ko using purposive sampling Sa mga elders lang na may alam sa aking study. So, nagiging bias siya. Not really bias. Maybe I have the purpose why I choose them. May purpose ako bakit piliin ko si Team Y, si A, si B. Kasi alam ko sila ay reliable and they could actually help me in my study. That makes it purposive. And how about stratified sampling? Kailan ginagamit ang stratified sampling technique? For example, yung scope ng study mo is the entire Smith. Or entire midwifery na lang. Then ngayon, ang Smith is merong, sa first year, merong 12 sections. So let's say, ang Smith ngayon, dahil maraming nag-enroll, 12 sections ang kanilang midwifery. So mahirapan ka ngayon, ang hirap-hirap, then maybe 1,000 yung iyong respondents, and mahirapan ka mag-gather, mag-survey, mag-disperse ng iyong questionnaire. So dito mo magagamit ang stratified. Paano? Sa no-12 section, just for instance. Paano ginagamit ang stratified? Kukuha ka ngayon ng mga sample from that given population. For example, 12 sections. Ibig sabihin, kukuha ka ngayon ng isang sample from section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, ibig sabihin, meron kang 12 respondents out from that sample. 12, for example, sa isang classroom, merong 50-50. 50, 50, 50, or 100, 100, 100 per section. So, kukuha ka at least one, depende sa'yo, 1, 2, 3, or one sample that will represent the whole section. For example, mais. So, example ko ang mais ha. Sa isang sako ng mais, ngayon, itetest mo dahil gusto mo bumili ng mais na itatanim mo. So, stratified sampling, kukuha ka ng isang mais to represent the entire mais, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, kapag hindi nabuhay yung isang mais, lahat ng mais sa sako is hindi mabubuhay. It's quite stereotyping. Kapag negative siya, parang stereotyping ginagawa. Pero ang stereotyping naman is negative because we are judging people based on the group. For example, mga Ilocano, dalok-dalok. Hindi naman lahat ng Ilocano, dalok-dalok, di ba? Diba? Mga Ilonggo, tikalon. That's actually stereotyping. Kasi, nag-test ka ng isang sample na isa lang, then, so for the entire group, kumbaga, kung ano yung lumabas na result sa isang respondents mo, parang yun na yung lahat-lahat, stereotyping siya. But in research, that's stratified naman kapag marami. So kapag matalino yung napili mo na, for example, health condition na lang. Health condition among these 12 sections. So dahil nahirapan ka nga pumili, dahil marami sila, nag-stratified sampling ka, kumuha ka ng sampling, dahil yung napili mo ngayon na mga stratified, na mga sample out from the group is hindi maganda yung health condition. So, i-judge mo yung entire class na hindi maganda dahil yun yung result ng iyong sample na kinuha. Gets? That's stratified. There is a representative from a certain group of population. Okay? So, yun, no? But situate naman, it's quite homogeneous. Kapag homogeneous lang naman siya ma-apply natin. Pero kapag mix yung section, bawal, hindi ka pwede mag-certified. Pero kapag homogeneous, puro nursing, di ba? Or puro babae, puro education, then just pick one sample to represent the entire sample. Am I making clear here? Naintindihan ba, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, my dear midwives out there? Now, ito na yung isa. Another part of research methodology is the data gathering instrument. So, anong instrument mo? Nag-interview ka ba? Kapag case study? So, yung ginawa mo is, gumawa ka ng, or maybe you use research constructed interview or questionnaire. Or maybe, nag-adapt ka. For example, dahil may nakita ka sa internet ngayon or existing study na mayroon siyang questionnaire na parang pareho sa'yo, pwede mong i-adapt, kopyahin, as long as, yun nga, i-cite mo yung pangalan niya. Or maybe, may nakita ka ngayong question sa internet na medyo pareho, pero pinalitan mo, hindi lahat. So, pwede mo sabihin na, This questionnaire is patterned after or anchored with the study of NAG 2019. To acknowledge this author, because he is entitled, kasi sa kanya yan siya, dapat i-acknowledge mo talaga. So yun, no, sa ating instrument, pwedeng gumamit ka ng, kasi sa amin, yung ginamit namin instrument is exam. We use test. Kasi we test the academic performance. So kapag academic performance naman, pwede. For example, yung study natin is health condition and academic performance of midwife student in Smith. So pwede ka gamit, si researcher ngayon, pwede ka gamit ng pre-test and post-test. Dahil gusto mo i-test ngayon yung academic performance ng yung learner. Yung may mga sakit ba, participative ba sila or hindi, or yung pareho lang. So parang gano'n, no? Or simply questionnaire, no? Mag-distribute ka ng questionnaire. Next, we have analysis and interpretation. Ito. Mahalaga ang analysis and interpretation with the help of your statistician. Pero yun nga, kapag case study ang gagawin yung conduct ng study, no more statistics, no? Diretso na siya, narration, narrative, summary ng gagawin nyo. Pero kapag quantitative siya, merong solving, so kailangan yung taga i-analyze, i-interpret yung data. Yung relationship ng two variables, may solving niyan dyan. But anyway, as you go along, you can learn that with the help of your statistician. Next, gathering data procedure. Hindi basta-basta. You should also be aware of your procedure kasi that will also attest that your research is existing and you really conducted this. Hindi man siya gawa-gawa. You started with, for example, a letter of permission. So, it's more on letter, the process. Paano mo ginawa? First na ginawa mo is seek for the approval from my advisor to conduct a study. Afterwards, I send a letter to the dean of the nursing or midwife to conduct a study. Then afterwards, the researcher distributed the questionnaire or interview to the respondents. So parang ganun lang ha, parang outline lang to siya. Then maybe after, the researcher collected all the data. So yun, next procedure. And the researcher analyzed, interpreted, and evaluated all the gathered data. And the last process will be the finalization of your gathered data, which will lead you to your result and recommendation. And the last one is statistical treatment. So ito na, statistical treatment can be used for quantitative. Ayun nga. Kapag yung study mo naman is purely case study, kapag case study lang naman, yung gawin mo, ng mga statistical treatment, no? Kasi it's more on collection of data. You do your interview. You don't have to use statistical treatment. Okay? So, I guess that ends my slide. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, random. Okay, medyo late yung mga answer natin. Okay, time check. It's 1 hour and 58 minutes. Wow, on time. 2 hours talaga, Ate Jonah. Now, 9 so far. Thank you so much. Is it okay, Ma'am Jonah, to give them assignment? Just give me a cue, Ma'am Jonah. Is it okay to give to make it workshop? Is it okay to give them activity na isasend na lang sa inyo? Okay, so yes po, according to your teacher. Okay, first activity, andyan yan sa slide natin. Nakita mo, Ma'am Jonah, sa slide na pinasa ko. First, it's your time to shine, of course. Dapat kasi at the end of the seminar, you have to do something that will show that you have learned something. Hindi naman lahat, you have learned a lot, but you have learned something. For example, first, identify at least one major problem which is present in your school or in your field. That's one. Two, create a title with dependent and independent variable, the cause and effect, out from the identified problem. Three, explain the importance of the significance of conducting this study. Okay, may question tayo. Lau Bunda, Sir, ilang pages po ang RRL? Ma'am, wala pong given kung ilan. Kasi may mga RRL po na mahaba yung citation, merong maikli. Okay? But then, pwede na siya, kung number of authors, pwede 10 local, 10 international. Pero when it comes to pages, wala pong limit sa pages, ma'am. Kasi may mga citation na mahaba, meron namang maikli. Okay? So at least 10 local, 10 international. Or ikaw kung damihan mo pa. Okay? So wala po talagang standard pages kung ilan. Okay na ba Miss Lau Bunda? Did I answer your question substantially? Substantially talaga. Again, balik tayo sa ating assignment to be passed to Ma'am Jonah and to your dean. First, identify at least one major problem which is present in your school. Okay? So, pwede yung i-follow up ito kay Ma'am Jonah. 2, create a title with dependent and independent variable, cause and effect, out from the identified problem. 3, explain the importance or the significance of conducting the study. So before I will end this presentation, I will give you a quote. It is originally from me. Anyone can be a researcher. Just explore the world. Use your wit and don't afraid to try new things out of your curiosity. Thank you so much. God bless everyone. I hope starting this day you will love research and don't be shy to contact me or to reach me out through my Facebook, Jaime Manuel Untalnag Jr. Or I will give you here my Facebook account so that you can message me or you can ask to Ma'am Jonah. I will, as long as I can, guys, I'm very willing to help you, no? To do your research. Kasi nga, I also started with your level. Ako noon, alam nyo, I really hate research before kasi nga mahirap siya. But when I learned research, na mahala sa akin yung research, guys. So I hope that's not impossible to you. You could also love research and you can use research in your promotion, travel. And one more thing is baka interesado kayo, I'm actually a member of a research council. So if you want to present abroad, I can help you. If you want, kung maging okay na lahat, I can help you to present your research abroad. If you want to travel with me, with Ate Jonah, in Jesus' name. Okay? That's my Facebook account and this is my number. 7824126. Then baka pwede guys, paki-subscribe ng aking YouTube channel. Please subscribe my YouTube channel, Emmanuel Hub, para maka-help kayo sa aking, and you will be updated. Maging updated kayo sa lahat ng mga, kasi malay nyo, may i-upload pa akong video about research. So at least ma-follow up natin. So no more question. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much to the Dean of the College of Midwifery, Ma'am Catherine, and of course to my ateng, the best teacher in midwifery, Ma'am Jonalyn Siguban. Thank you so much for inviting me and for trusting me. And of course, to all the midwife students of Smith and to all the viewers out there, thank you so much for giving your time. I hope natulungan ko kayo. If you have question, andyan yung aking number and my Facebook account. You can message me directly for your question and for clarification. So I guess that ends for now, Ma'am Jonah. Thank you so much. God bless everyone and have a great day. Bye-bye.